Welcome back to our daily show on this Tuesday morning, right around 9:20. I'm never good at doing these timing things. In radio, I was great. I could back time for like 8 hours, but once I got over to Riverbender, it was kind of like, it's my show. I can go at 10 o'clock if I wanted to. Who's stopping me? The boss. That's right. But, what I think's really cool is Andy's Auto Body and Andy's Tire Center, too, and Gerard Fischer, two businesses that residents have come to know quite well and probably have had to utilize both, probably at the same time at one point in their lifetime. How are we doing today? Good?
Yeah, we're interfaced a lot of times between the insurance company and us.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and I just think it's cool in this spotlight for the North Alton Godfrey Business Council that we get to talk to two businesses that really do kind of work with each other in so many different ways, in a way. And, Mark, we'll start over with you because I haven't had you on the show yet before. It's great to have you. Fill me in on Andy's just overall, because every time I drive by, you guys have a machine going on over there.
Well, ever since we moved up to the new location, it's just been amazing. Like I said, we do a lot of emissions testing. We sell the stickers. We have the Tire and Auto Center. We have the Auto Body. So there's always a lot going on. My wife always said, why do you do all this stuff? I said, because when you have that many people coming around, people are always looking over and say, what's going on there? I've got to go there and see what's happening. So it draws a lot of people's attention.
Well, and now we were talking before we came on the air, and you guys started doing emissions in 2012.
Right, when we were up at the Tire Center at the mall, and we didn't have the exposure up there that we have now, at Homer Adams in Washington. I think up behind the mall, I think we figured we had somewhere around 180,000 cars a day went by, or a year went by there. Here we're just under 11 million.
A year, cars driving. But that's incredible to think about.
Yeah, so it's Homer Adams Parkway is like, I think, 20,000, 30,000, something a day. And then Washington's so much, and between the two of them, it's a lot.
Wow. So. Well, and now you were saying, how many emissions tests are you guys doing a month or a year? Because you were telling it's like a crazy number.
Right. We average about 2,000 a month, which works out to be on an average about 22,000 emissions tests a year.
That's incredible. Wow. That is well, and what amazes me, like we were saying, Gerard, you drive by, and even when you go get your emissions tested, it's such a smooth process. Was that something that's always been that way, or did you guys have to develop that system as time went on?
Well, we've always, since we started, we up at the mall, it was pretty easy, just pull it in and pull it out. It's the same thing here, but now with the sticker sales as well, you can come in there, you can get your emissions test, you can get your sticker done, and it's all in a matter of minutes versus going to the DMV, which you go down there for a sticker, you have to take a number, and you're in line for an hour, maybe two, and people are in and out in 5 minutes for the sticker sales, and the emissions doesn't take any longer. So
yeah. Well, can I tell you, real quick side story? I was up at the DMV the other day. John Roberts was up there too, and it was like 7 a.m. or it was right before the DMV opened, and there was only one person, and he was first in line, and I was second, and I still had to wait. But when it comes to this, we were talking to, and I'll break the fourth wall. I got to get a new license plate. I think my tag's a little bit past due. But when folks go in there, what are some things that we can take into account for our emissions test? Because this is something that I had to look into. If there's like some lights and sensors going off on our car, like the engine light, probably should we still take it in for that emissions test when it's due?
It depends on what the check engine light's for. If the check engine light is related to an emissions item, like your catalytic converter, your muffler, something like that, then it probably won't pass. Okay. But if it's something else that's not related to emissions, then it'll go through without a problem. But the best thing to do is, even if it's on, you can go through once to find out what it is. And then from there, they can kind of help you out, say, this is emissions related, you have to get this fixed. Or if it's not emissions related, it'll pass, and they'll just push you through.
Well, and the good thing, Gerard, is they know a guy that can take care of all those problems.
They know a guy.
We really don't make any money on the emissions at all. They give us very little per car, it maybe even pays for the technician I had to do it. Wow. But the whole idea is, when you go through and it doesn't pass, you'll hopefully come to Andy's and you get your repairs done there.
I hope so. Well, it just seems, especially with the services, with the stickers too that you do, you were telling me it's right around 30,000 after you do all the math of people you service just in that facet alone, and that's just incredible.
I'm thinking about putting a hot dog stand up there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, I had somebody wanted to do a dog wash up at the corner by the ice machine. And I was like, I don't know, that's a lot going on there.
Well, and now, take me through the dynamic of, Gerard, being in the insurance agency or industry, and then you're also, working with clients on, their vehicle claims and things like that. What's it like working with an auto body that's reputable and like Andy's? And
Andy's is very reputable. We work with them all the time, and you know what? The thing is when people have a claim, I mean, I'm willing to be there to help them with the claim, but we pass it along to the experts, the claims adjusters that can work with Andy's. And if my client's not happy with the claims adjuster or can't get back with the claims adjuster's not getting back with them or whatever, then they contact me. Then I can step in and help. And then I can get the ball rolling, put a stick of dynamite underneath somebody, and get the ball rolling so that they can take care of my client.
And that does happen a lot with the insurance company. You'll submit an estimate, and they'll reject a portion of it, and and you have to go back and say this was related, it wasn't related. They'll ask more questions, but sometimes it goes right to the agent, and the agent can push it through a little bit more for us.
It's incredible. And now, what's that claims adjuster process look like? Do they just show up at your auto body? What's that?
In today's world, it's technology. Yeah. It's somebody that's working behind a desk in Oregon that's sending pictures to Mark, and Mark's sending pictures back to them. I mean these claims, people now with our app, our AMFAM app, they can take the pictures themselves on the app. It goes directly to the claims adjuster, which they look at, and they're looking at the same thing the body shop's looking at. And it's a high technology experience. And
it's the same with us too. Even if you don't know if you want to file a claim or not, you can call Andy's and they'll send you a link, and you can take pictures. It's two-dimensional. It's still going to be a little rough as far as the estimate goes, but it'll give you a ballpark figure what your estimate's going to be. So do I want to turn it in? Do I not want to turn it in? And from there, you can make that decision.
Wow, this is really cool. Now I got to ask you: is there one part or one part of the vehicle or one situation or accident that comes in or one claim that comes in that you guys look forward to the least, where you're like, I hope to dear God it's not this today?
Well, the big hits, the ones that are, $25,000, $30,000, $35,000, and the way cars are priced anymore, you can get a $70,000, $80,000 car, and $35,000 is only 50% of the car. It's not going to total until you get to 75% or better. Right. So you get those big ones, and it's a lot of money, but.
Yeah, and the other one is when you have the guy tells me, well, it had 4 airbags went off, and airbags are how much?
Oh gosh. $2,000 a piece.
$2,000 a piece. So, 4 airbags go off, you're already at $8,000. And then we're not even looking at the damage of the car yet. So, do the math. I'm telling the people, your car's probably worth $10,000. You're totaled already without even looking at the damage of the vehicle.
That's wow.
Yeah, and that's why you don't want to mess with. Well, we do. We do. Yeah. We have the frame machines and all that stuff. But a big hit's going to take you 30 to 45 days to do the repair because you have parts availability issues. You have, especially with tariffs and stuff coming in.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
And some of the parts are coming from Japan and China and all these other places, Italy, and it's hard to get parts. So big hit's going to take you a long time, where if you've got a bumper repair and a door repair, somebody's keyed your car, something like that, I can get you in and out in a week, and that's a $4,000 job. So I'd rather do $4,000 jobs than one $20,000 job.
Yeah. Back in the day, and back saying like 5-7 years ago, the auto industry or the insurance industry believed that, hey, with all these bells and whistles that are coming on the cars, there's going to be less claims, so we can reduce rates. Well, there's been less frequency of claims, but the average claim ticket has gone up from almost doubled.
Oh, yeah. It used to be around $2,000, $2,500, and now $5,000.
$5,000, yeah. Wow. For a normal claim. And now I got people that, they might have a little fender bender, but it might have hit a sensor or hit this or hit that, and still, it should only be a couple $100, but to take it to a body shop.
Do you get that a lot?
Oh, yeah. And then they always want to know, well, you're fixing the fender. I got the scratch on the door. It's not related. Can you fix it at the same time? You got the paint gun out. Well, it's a little bit more detailed than just spraying over the top. You have to sand it down. You have to feather it back. You have to prime it. You have to feather it back again. Then you can paint it. Right. So it's a little bit more entailed than just...
Then they come back and say, I went to Andy's and $2,000? Right. I'm like, I told you.
Well, that's like when I called the landscaper and had him do my roof that same day too, same price for $45. I figured, why not? Yeah. But I think it's really cool that both of you guys really make it a point though to be out in the community, be a part of these groups like the North Alton Godfrey Business Council. And Gerard, you're always at the meetings, and it's great to see. And Mark, I see at the meetings too. And what's your guys' thoughts on how important the council is and just having groups, kind of like this getting together?
It's just great to network with the other people, and I'm surprised the amount of people that we have at some of these meetings.
Me too, yeah.
It's 50, 60 people, and Zeke does a good job aligning the speakers and everything and getting good speakers that come in and to talk to us. And I know our next meeting is at St. Anthony's Hospital, and looking forward to hear what's going on there. So it's good to keep updated of what's going on in the community.
Absolutely.
I agree. And, I don't have as much time as I once did, because once we moved into our new facility, it was just crazy all the time. So it was always, with all the cars that come through there, it's crazy. But I do agree that you have to get out in the community and do a lot of things. And, we've had a lot of things we've done in the past, and we've kind of not done as much here lately because of the move, but you have to get out in the community. You have to do things, and where if you can volunteer. I mean, the Winter Wonderland's coming up here pretty soon. I've always volunteered for that.
Yeah.
And then, you get the pancake breakfast that comes up, at, the VFW post or the Knights of Columbus post. I'm sorry.
Right, right.
So I mean, there's always something you can do, even if it's just donate a little cash here or there, or donate your time too.
Absolutely. Do you guys get a moment to take a quick break?
Sure.
I got to pay a bill. We'll come back with more of our spotlight on the North Alton Godfrey Business Council with Gerard Fischer, Mark Anderson, AMFAM, Andy's Auto Body, and Andy's Tire Center. After this on Riverbender and Roku TV.
What's up? It's Mike Keith. What's up, bro? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it. This is Dwight Wirtz, president of Wirtz Welding and Tank Service, the nation's premier distributor of tank trailer parts. Dwight has been an outspoken and long-time supporter of the college and is the current chairperson of Lewis and Clark Board of Trustees. Oh, and he's a Lewis and Clark grad.
I'm Dwight Wirtz, and I am a trailblazer.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
And don't rock the jukebox. Wanna hear George Jones? 'Cause my heart ain't ready for the Rolling Stones. I don't feel like rocking since my baby's gone. So don't rock the jukebox. Play me a country song.
Back, Daily Show. Man, it keeps switching back to Mary Cordes. It loves Hainer Library for some reason. We are not talking to Hainer Library today. We're talking to the North Alton Godfrey Business Council members, Gerard Fischer, Mark Anderson back in the studio. And, Mark, take me through some of the services that you guys provide. I know there's like a gauntlet of different ones, but just for the folks that maybe just need a little bit of a refresher.
Right. Well, we do all the normal stuff. Cars have changed so much in the last decade, I mean, you have your basic stuff, your tires and your brakes and, things like that. But then you almost have to have a degree in computer technology in order to diagnose a lot of these things. I mean, everything's computer generated anymore. And you plug into your OCD port, OBT. Never mind. You plug into it, and then the computer will tell you everything that's going on with your car. And we can even have technology where we can plug in and have somebody, I think it's in Jacksonville, Florida, that will go through the whole car and do a diagnosis on it. So if you're struggling with an electrical problem, and this company can go in and they can run all these tests on it and say, okay, I think you got a power window switch is bad on the left front door. So then it zeroes it down instead of me spending 5 hours looking for an electrical problem, charging you, the diagnosis fee for that. You pay, I think it's like $180, $200, something like that, for them to go through the whole thing. It's cheaper in the long run than for me spending 4 or 5 hours doing it.
Can I ask you something? Because, to me that brings up an interesting point. I always think about Rodney Dangerfield when he's the car mechanic. Have you seen that? You ain't getting out of here tonight. But when it comes to that, this is why you need to take, especially because I have an older, car, to make sure you're going to someone like you that has the proper equipment. Because to me, even though it's an older car, you guys still know what you're doing, and you have at least the tools to get things done. Because I've been through the process where it's like, all right, take it to your buddy that that has this shop out of the garage, and well, it's not really what he thought was wrong, and then all of a sudden we're 500 deep, and here's another 1,000, and it's not even fixed, and now there's even more problems. Do you see that a lot, and then people finally come to you?
We do, and there's and we see people that want to bring their own parts too. I mean, they'll go to AutoZone and get something, and then bring it to us. So I mean, we can install this, but we don't guarantee anything, and we are a Napa shop also, so we have a 3-year 36,000-mile warranty, because we're a Napa Gold shop, where most Napa shops are just a Napa shop, and they get a 2-year 24,000 miles. So we get that extra 12 months as a Napa Gold shop. But when you have something like that, if it turns out that it's you bring this part in and it's not even what's wrong with it, we'll install it for you. And if that doesn't fix it, then you still have to get it fixed. Yeah. So it's best to let somebody that knows what they're doing go in there and diagnose what the problem is, and then repair the part with a guaranteed part, and then you're good for a while.
Interesting. So before we go back into some of the services, I got to ask, what is, and I'll ask both of you, what is the most frequently claimed vehicle when it comes to when it comes to Ford? Is it a Kia? What do you see the most of?
Oh God!
It's spontaneous, but the type of claim is probably a deer hit right now.
Really?
This time of the year.
Is it really?
Oh yeah,
October, November. It's deer season.
Yeah.
Wow. So, how do you keep hitting these deer, guys? I mean, they're there. I know somebody that hit 3 in a week. Seriously, in one week, got hit 3 times by a deer. Wasn't the same deer.
It could happen.
Same car?
Yeah, it was actually.
I tell them to get the magnet out of the trunk.
You got to make sure you're not doing that around the deer crossing.
Yeah, that's true. Right. With that being said, take me through, Mark, a little bit more of some of what you guys provide, just because I cut you off the first time.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's in the mechanical side. Yeah. We do pretty much everything.
When it comes to tires, though, would you guys do the manual, the routine maintenance and all of that stuff
sure.
too?
And whenever you come in, we actually have all the recommended maintenance that's due on your vehicle and the increment that they do. So some are due every 30,000 miles, some at 60, some at 100,000 miles. A lot of cars, they recommend doing timing chain at 90 to 100,000 miles, where they may recommend a transmission flush or a coolant flush at every 30,000 miles. And these are just to change the fluids in your car. You do an oil change, that's one thing. It just drains what's in the pan and drains it out. But if you do a flush, it gets to the whole system and cleans it all out, and then you can put fresh oil in. Same with transmission fluid, coolant, and all that. Even now, you're flushing your brake system because you get condensation in the brake fluid, and it starts rusting your brake lines from the inside out.
Wow.
So, and we do so many brake lines, especially on trucks, that after 10 years, you push the pedal, all of a sudden it rusts out and it pops a hole in it, and you can still stop.
Right.
Slowly, but you can still stop.
Right.
But we see a lot of that.
I'm going to make you feel like you're on a roller coaster for a second. That's interesting. Well, and when it comes to tires, what are tire prices still going up to? Because that's kind of what I'm getting nervous about, Mark, because my tires are more than due. I mean, I don't know what's more bald, Mr. Clean or my tire.
Well, it's hard to say. But the tire prices do go up. I mean, like everything else right now. I mean, and most of them are imported from overseas. A lot of them are anyway. So you're going to be paying more for that. But you can go on our website, and there's a lot of times if you go into the specials, you'll see the different tire brands. You may have a Bridgestone that has a $100 rebate on it this month, or you may see a Firestone that has a $60 rebate on it this month. So you can work on that, and if you can pair that up with some of the monthly discounts that Andy's has on there too, you might be able to save a little bit of money on that. But you still have to have them mounted and balanced, and you still have to have it aligned when you do that. If you buy that $600 or $700 set of tires and you don't do the alignment, and 6 months later your tires are wearing on the side.
Right, you did it for nothing.
Right, you can't warranty those things because you didn't do the alignment time. If you maintain it and align it and rotate them on a regular basis, those things are going to last for a long time for you.
Do you know what I like, Gerard, about this? Mark, you made it easy because if you go to gotoandys.com, you'll realize that if you're like me and don't know what the tire sizes mean most of the time, and you're kind of taking it together, just put your car in there and it'll tell you for you. That's pretty interesting too. I love that.
Right, and we're actually, that's for the tires. You can go in there and put whatever brand you're looking for, what kind, what size, and it'll pull up several different kinds for you. And we're working on a new program too for the mechanical. So if you want to go in there and you can sign on and you can put all your information in there and you say, oh, I want to put a water pump on, and it'll give you a rough idea what the price is. There's a lot of variables in there, but it'll give you a rough idea. It's $300, $400, $500, whatever it is. So you can, okay, this is what I'm going to have to prepare for.
This is really cool. I love this because that's part of my hardest journey is I try to look for things and realize, well, I have to go back to my car 14 times and write the number down again.
Right. Well, the thing you could do with Andy's too is take a picture of it and just text it to them or whatever, or email it to them, and they'll be able to find it from there too. Just make sure you got the old.
This is, it's wild because of the whole picture thing. I had to do this with my grandma's basement when her water line went out, and the guy did a whole video conference and everything else. When did you know, was COVID the big kicker onto that, or was this starting before COVID? When it comes
it was starting before COVID. I think to get to the younger market that is not, they're computer savvy and telephone savvy, so they're the ones that use that the most, to where they're on their phones and using the apps and doing everything to submit their claim through the app. That happens quite a bit with the younger market.
This is really interesting.
I found it interesting. I went to a Napa show in Vegas last February, I think it was, and they had virtual reality repair. So you could put your goggles on and it'll walk you through the steps of replacing a water pump or replacing a sensor. And it'll be right there in front of you, and it'll highlight something and say, loosen this bolt, you take that bolt. It'll tell you what size wrench you need and which way you need to turn it. And all these things. So this virtual reality, somewhere down the road, not in my lifetime probably, but somewhere down the road, you really don't have to have a college degree to do this stuff, but you have to have a little bit of common sense and maybe a little mechanical aptitude. But you put these things on, it walks you through the whole process. And that's on the tire side. Collision is going to be a little bit different because there's so many variables in that.
Wow, this is what a cool segment.
AI will take over.
Oh, it is.
I mean, especially for the claims part.
I bet.
AI will take over claims, somewhere down the road, I would imagine.
And we see that on the collision side as well. I mean, you'll see everything. It says it's recorded for AI and for AI support or something like that on there. And I know there's going to be a point in time, and I was talking with somebody that said, it was with Amazon. We do some Amazon fleet vehicles, and they're installing these drive-throughs that they drive through. It's got 350 cameras or whatever all the way around it, and they drive these Amazons through there. It'll tell them exactly what's damaged on the vehicle, so that way they can blame whoever's at blame first, but also they have a certain appearance that they want to keep up. They don't want to send crappy looking vehicles out there. So if it's too bad, if it gets to a certain point, they say, pull that one out of service, let's get it fixed, and we'll get something else back on the road.
This is incredible. So I got to ask you, so what, as we get back into the business side of things, what is the most common misconception that people have? Like they get the insurance process started, like they got rear-ended, but also, their air conditioner wasn't working right for 2 years before that. And they think that comes with the insurance payment. Is it things like that are the misconception, or is it just the process and the timeline?
I think it's a lot of that. People, they don't realize sometimes that they have these people that are very knowledgeable, and you tell them that I got hit in the right rear and now my air's not working. They know that. Come on. Or, you get hit in the right rear and your headlight's not working. I mean, they're not related.
And sometimes too, I have some people that say, I had a little fender bender, what should I do? And I usually say, take it up to Andy's or take it to a body shop and get an estimate first, and then we'll decide if we want to turn in a claim. Well, then they come back and say, well, it's $6,000. And I was like, well, the whole trunk was smashed in. But then you got a guy to say, hey, somebody just demolished the back end of my car. Okay, I'll turn in a claim. And then you find out it's $500.
That's where that link comes in handy. If you sign on or go to anybody that has a CCC1 management system, you can just send you a link and you can take a few photos with the VIN, and they can give you a rough estimate without having to go to the body shop. Cool. I mean, it never seems to fail too. People will show up at 5:25 in the evening for an estimate, and you close at 6 o'clock. It usually takes about an hour to do a good estimate. So it's hard to do that. But if you go get the link, you can at least get an idea. Do I want to turn in a claim? Do I not want to turn in a claim? And if I do, let's turn it into the insurance company. I've already got this rough estimate. You can go to any body shop. I prefer you go to Andy's naturally, but you can still have an idea of what you're going to do at that point.
Well, and just because, and then we'll wrap up with some fun ones. I just decided to, because I need tires, to go ahead and look. And I mean, you guys don't. You were very upfront with everything. It says see the purchase price, and you list everything on there. And because I'm cheap and work in local media, I got to get the cheap tire. But I mean, it's right there, and you have everything what you can expect whenever you're going to get the done.
I mean, I can quote your price on a tire. It's going to look cheap by the time you add the mount and balance, and the alignment and all these other things. And these are all things that you have to put on there in order to do a good job on it. You have to be transparent about it too. I'm not doing the bait and switch thing where it's $285, and then when you get out of it, it's $490.
Yeah, right. Well, and then do you guys do do you guys do financing options for when it comes to
We do have an APA Easy Pay card that you can get. It's usually 6 months, no interest. So if you decide you want to do a whole set of tires or maybe a major repair, you can spread that over 6 months versus having to pay $1,000, $1,200 all up front.
Interesting. Really cool. Okay, now I got to ask you, what is the strangest claim that you've ever had vehicle related, Gerard?
Oh boy, back a time ago, this car. This guy said he wouldn't fix. We wouldn't fix the car because he said it was a deer hit, and I said, well, the claims adjuster's not saying it because he said I didn't hit a deer, and the car was one of those Volkswagens where the front of the car was that almost touches the ground, like 3 inches from the ground. And he's like, he said he hit it on the front. I'm like, did the deer crawl under there or what?
What is the craziest story that you've ever heard whenever someone brings in their damaged car?
Well, for me, this was before my time. This was when Andy Batcher owned the shop.
Okay.
Our general manager now, Rex, is the general manager up here now. And he said that they had a customer came in with a snake that had crawled up inside their dash. I don't know if it was a pet snake or something else, but we ended up having to take the whole dash apart to pull this. And then you have to find a volunteer that's willing to go in there and start taking the dash apart with the snake in there. So that's probably about I wouldn't have done that. I don't like snakes.
We've had flying turkeys and things like that too.
That's incredible.
Yeah, not only deer hits, but there's turkey hits. Turkey go through the windshield.
I smoked an owl once on Stamper Lane.
And the small animals, they do a lot of damage.
They do a lot of damage.
A raccoon or something like that, and they're 30, 35 pounds, and bigger than a basketball, and you hit that at 30, 40 miles an hour, it's going to hurt.
Now, final question: if you could design your dream insurance policy, Mark, what would it be for cars? What would be that wild feature you'd throw in there?
Oh, well, never have a deductible. They cover everything, but that's the thing too. Is the deductibles are huge. I mean, the deductibles are there to help lower your policy, I'm assuming. So the higher deductible, the lower your policy. But you still have to keep in mind that when you wreck, you're going to have to pay that.
Yeah.
And most people used to say, well, can you just include that in on it? And well, I can't. I mean, the insurance companies, they are very diligent about making sure that they're paying for only what they're supposed to be paying for, which is fair for them, too.
And that's why I educate my agents, that right, and never use the word full coverage, because people think full coverage means everything's insured.
Right.
So I just let them know that, hey, you have the liability, and if you have comp, you have collision, if you have rento and everything, that's, you just put all the pieces together, but stay away from saying full coverage.
What would your wild feature be on your insurance policy, Gerard? If you could, if they called you today and say you're in charge, what would you put in there?
Oh, on a policy, I have no idea.
Well, there's so many variables out there, as far as, what kind of damage it is, what kind of car it is, so it's hard to say what's cut and dry for every vehicle.
Right.
This was fun. I had a great time.
And especially not so much the vehicle, but the client that drives the vehicle too.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Can I be covered going over 120 miles an hour?
Well, we get people that come. I got a vibration at 95. Well, I'm not going to take your car at 95 miles an hour. So I mean, we can take it up to normal highway speeds if we feel it. Then that's fine. If
That's right.
Sorry.
It's incredible. Guys, thanks so much for stopping by. We'll take a quick break, learn more about the North Alton Godfrey Business Council, NAGBC.org, and we'll see you next Tuesday at St. Anthony's for the Business Council meeting at 7:30 a.m.
AM. CJ, should I call you?
Yeah, please call me. Mark, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
We'll come back with more of our daily show right after this in the heart of the 618.